saw that coming.
Yeah. Welcome to the March 10th, 2020 Franklin County Board of Commissioners General Session. We will begin this morning's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Boyce.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We have a couple of things we want to do this morning before we get to our general session agenda. We have our Columbus-Franklin County Age-Friendly Strategic Plan. So this morning we have the pleasure of welcoming Katie White from OSU's College of Social Work. She's then the director of Columbus-Franklin County Age-Friendly Communities as well. Dr. Holly, is Dr. Holston with us? Oh, Dr. Holly Holston is with us, director of AARP Ohio this morning. They are here to give us an overview of how we are impacting residents through the age-friendly strategies and plans. Welcome this morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me this morning, commissioners. It's a pleasure to be here today to celebrate this exciting milestone in the work of age-friendly Franklin County. As you might recall, 2 years ago, you signed us into the World Health Organization and AARP network to commit to going out and listening to our older residents and individuals of varying abilities to understand what challenges they were facing and even more so what ideas they had for improvements that should be done in our community. So thank you so much to you all and to the Franklin County Office on Aging for your visionary leadership and setting that in motion. I'm here today on behalf of Age Friendly Columbus and Franklin County, which is a program of the Ohio State University College of Social Work. And I want to first start off by saying this is my first time joining you in this room, which is extremely accessible and easy to get to from the front door. So I appreciate your attentiveness to thinking through how to make your space more open and inclusive. And indeed, that is what we do in our work every single day. We are in the community, thanks to your support, and listening to challenges, creating respectful spaces that are accessible, equitable, and a space where the voices really matter and really individuals know that when they come and participate, their ideas, their challenges, their solutions will be brought to fruition. Over the course of the last 2 years, we had the opportunity to hear from and speak to nearly 10,000 individuals from across Franklin County and all the way up into Canada multiple times to share our work around our positive aging campaign. And it was when we were there, we heard from the World Health Organization director who started this movement, and he said, if your goal is change, prepare to be uncomfortable. And I can say to you, we have been uncomfortable a number of times over the last couple of years because it is difficult to sit in a space and hear challenges that are very real and to hear individuals sharing their stories of struggle. But the power is in that next step of saying, you have ideas, we have solutions, and we have the ability to bring together partners. We've heard from individuals, older adults in Whitehall who run their senior center fully through volunteers from Westerville. We've helped champion and sit alongside Worthington as they passed their legislation to come into the age-friendly network. Prairie Township, Upper Arlington. Your support and your leadership has given us this time to spend in the community and hopefully share up what we've heard and also share down some things that are going on. So from your leadership on the census, we consider ourselves good stewards of that information, or potentially hunkering down or needing to think through some public emergencies and some strategies to work through that. So we will continue to engage in our community. We have outlined 9 strategies that come straight from the voices and our strategic partners in the community. And we're excited to get to work. We've actually already started some of the progress on these, so it is really my pleasure to be able to do this job, and the age-friendly team. I know we enjoy our work and we take it very seriously. And our goal is change. And so we will take this opportunity very seriously to be in our community with our older adults. I would like to invite Fran Ryan to just share a couple of words on behalf of the city of Columbus. Do you want to come up? And then we'll have Holly, and I think we're doing a photo as well when we're done.
Thank you, commissioners, and thank you for all the work and support that you've given us. It has been my opportunity in the last 11 years to be out in the community and see what really seniors are like. Are they like me, or they stay in their house? And today we have a debate on that, whether I should be locked in or get to escape out in the community. But I'll take care of my kids later. But I want to tell you how much this means. I remember sitting in a room with 4 people, and we, because of the work you've done and because of the work the city has done, we now have engaged all over this community and all over this county. Our partnership is so important for our seniors. Every day, we have to talk about transportation, housing, and all of the issues that you hear, we are trying to tackle with the seniors. So I do want to particularly congratulate Katie for the opportunity that she has had, and also to reach out to all of you and to our dear friends at the School of Sociology. So thank you so much for your support. And I will continue to engage and to ask you for help as I can. Thank you very much.
And so I'd like to introduce Dr. Holly Holton, State Director of AARP Ohio, to officially award the certificate.
All right. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. At AARP, we're working to ensure communities are livable for everyone. That's more important than ever, given that people are living longer than any time in history, and that by 2035, older adults will outnumber children for the first time in U.S. history. With these changing dynamics and our longevity, communities need to be proactive, not reactive, when implementing creative solutions to make communities economically, socially, and culturally better for people of all ages. By becoming an official member of the AARP Network of Age-Friendly States and Communities in 2018, you made a proactive commitment to actively work with residents and local advocates over a 5-year period to make their community a great place for people of all ages. While the AARP Livable Communities is a nationwide initiative that uses the age-friendly lens to help communities reimagine and then enact policy and infrastructure changes for the benefit of all of its inhabitants, the work that happens within the network is locally determined and directed, and the results differ from community to community. But the common thread among the more than 470 enrolled communities and states is the belief that the places where we live are more livable when local leaders commit to improving the quality of life for the very young, the very old, and everyone in between. Today, we are very pleased to present this certificate to Franklin County in recognition of reaching an important milestone in their 5-year process, the creation of an action plan for becoming more age-friendly under the criteria established by AARP. On behalf of AARP and as an affiliate of the World Health Organization, we present you this certificate and wish you the best as you implement your action plan. We know that age-friendly communities foster economic growth and make for happier, healthier residents of all ages. And we look forward to seeing and hearing about the results. Thank you.
Can I make
Yeah,
comments?
go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to before we do the photo op, I do want to thank you for working with us and really bringing together a coalesced thought about how we can support perhaps the most important segment of our population. As you all know, Central Ohio is expected to grow by over 1 million people over the next 20 years or so. And it's now that we can really do the things infrastructure related to really support every aspect of our population. I know if you've ever had surgery or ever had an injury, it's really an eye-opener to what it's like to get around when you even have the slightest impairment. I remember hurting my finger a few years ago. I had surgery on my hand and put this traction on my hand. and I thought I'll be fine. I use my left hand for a lot of things, so it's not a really big deal. But I learned just how dysfunctional it made my life to have just the slightest impairment. And even though I can write with my left and do other things, it still sort of left me impaired, and it really exposed me to what it's like to have a challenge, whether you're disabled, whether you're a senior that has some challenges in moving around, or any other thing that might slow you down. And so I really believe this is perhaps one of the more important elements of our thought process as we grow in Central Ohio, as we age, with the baby boomers becoming of age, and still the largest population on Earth. And so it's really, I think this work is a catalyst to a better future for Central Ohio. So thank you for working with us as part of it.
I'm just kind of chuckling about my younger colleague talking about his pinky finger.
I have a metal pin in here, man. It's serious. It was serious.
With all the problems I've had over the years, it's hard to get out of bed some days. I appreciate you guys being here, especially as now at my age a recipient of all of your mail that I get all the time. And my wife loves but my wife now at her age gets the mail too, so I get to tease her a little bit. But we really appreciate the recognition, and I, you know, now that I'm in my mid-50s, as much as I like to tease our senior colleague Marilyn Brown when she's here, she gets to tease us now too. But we really appreciate the recognition and we really appreciate all the hard work that you guys have done and the partnership that we have with you. I also, before we come up, and we want to bring Fran up for the photo, as well as Amy for the photo as well, I also want to recognize, you know, we both hope that when we are both former county commissioners, as our good friend Fran Ryan is, that we're nearly as active as she is in the years after we're finished being county commissioners. Fran was a county commissioner. Fran was a county commissioner when I first became a county employee way back, years ago. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I've known Fran most of my life. So, but we really appreciate the partnership, and thank you for all that you guys do. So.
Well, thank you for your kind words and your support, and look tomorrow for our Positive Aging campaign launching. And so maybe you'll rethink some of those aging chuckles as you see our faces and voices around town.
They're not chuckles anymore. We are getting.
We'll just take a few, just keep standing there. Okay, I want one more. Okay, thank you.
Yes. We have very close to them. Thanks.
Absolutely. You got to stay.
You should see it when we have the high school kids. They can't run out of here fast enough. Oh, good. I thought it was animal shelter folks. All right, now we also this morning have the New American Advisory Council 2019 Annual Report and 2020 recommendations. This year is yet another valuable leader with us this morning, or this, we also have another, sorry, Nadia, I'm screwing this all up. Nadia Kozman, who's the chair of the New American Advisory Council. So Franklin County is a very welcoming community and we have an innovative leader in Nadia and my colleague, Commissioner Kevin Boyce, that created the New American Advisory Council, even before he was a county commissioner. It continues to make Columbus open and smart. Thank you for presenting the annual report this morning, Nadia, and the 2020 recommendations.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. It's such an honor to be here to talk about the achievements of the New American Advisory Council. Our council was established by the Franklin County Board of Commissioners in 2017. And since that time, we've put a New American Forum every year, and I came up with recommendations and annual report. We meet monthly. We have community leaders and service providers represented at our advisory council, and we work very hard to make sure that the needs of the New American communities are heard, but also celebrate the achievements. And so with that, I would like to present our annual report. And I'm sure it was there somewhere on the table. If you don't have it and would like to have it, please let us know. But we were supposed to have some pictures here on the, oh, here they are. And so I especially want to highlight our New American Forum that we had in 2019. We brought together nearly 150 community leaders to have roundtable discussions and build the connections necessary for a welcoming and inclusive community. One critical goal that we had was to involve members of the local government, including mayors, city council members, school board members, city managers, and state legislators. More than 70 attendees also completed the survey in order to determine key themes and takeaway messages that New American Advisory Council used to inform its work for the past year. And so we worked all together, the whole Advisory Council, to go through all the surveys, all the feedback that we received at our New American Forum, looking at all the notes that our facilitators had at roundtable discussions, to figure out what are the recommendations for the next year. And so these, you see recommendations on a screen there. We went through all the surveys and made sure that our New American Advisory Council members let their expertise towards figuring out what are the major themes. We determined 13 priorities among the themes in the surveys, and then we narrowed it down to 3. And what's important, that these 3 priorities also match priorities identified by the Board of Commissioners in the Franklin County Poverty Blueprint. We want to make sure that as the county works towards creating a fair community in Franklin County, that also the voice of New Americans heard. And we are part of those discussions. And so as you work towards those priorities, we ask you to include our voices in combating the poverty. And so the next slide probably would be about our next forum. Please save the date, April 21, 2020, and we will be sending invitations soon. Thank you so much.
Nadia, how many different, if you know, if you can get if you either have a hard number or if you can give me an estimate, how many New American communities do you think we have nowadays in Franklin County?
Well, I would say probably at least 150,000, if not more. Considering that we have close to 75,000 Somalis living in our community, Spanish-speaking living in our community, African community, Eastern European communities, Asian communities. We have the biggest Bhutanese refugee community in the country, probably close to 36,000 people. So it would be nice to actually have the number.
Yeah. Well, I've had that argument with a lot of people over the years in terms of the number, that's for sure. Do you have any idea representing how many nationalities?
Well, more than 70, because we provide interpretation services, and we have interpreters speaking more than 75 languages. Every single one of them is utilized.
Well, as we discussed a few weeks ago in my office, this is certainly become an international community. It's a wonderful thing. Not the Columbus, not the Franklin County that I grew up in, which was largely black, white, and maybe a little Asian when I was a young man. And it has become as cosmopolitan as any community in the United States. And it's been just a wonderful experience, a wonderful thing for my children to see. My children they're not growing up in the same Columbus and Franklin County that I grew up in. And so it's been a tremendous experience for them, a tremendous experience for all of our children. So and we talked about it a few weeks back when you and I met. And so this new American Council that you created in 2017 was frankly probably was long overdue, but I appreciate the work that you guys have done. So.
Thanks, President O'Grady and Nadia. I want to thank you and the council for all of your leadership and work. We've got a long way to go. Central Ohio is growing and is vast with representatives from all over the world. And the million growth population point that I talked about earlier, of that, new Americans are expected to be the largest growing segment of that million or so folks over the next couple of decades. And so making Central Ohio a great place to live, work, and raise a family for everyone is something that I know this Board of Commissioners is committed to, so much that we changed our logo, and it's something that we look at and see every day, but more importantly, believe and are trying to invest in. Finally, let me just say thank you for recognizing and connecting the blueprint poverty work that we're doing. We know that it's at the very beginning of what we think is a long haul investment in changing the way those who are most vulnerable in our community can thrive, and your work to connect the two, new Americans as well as those who are struggling to get out of poverty, is really a critical and important part of our success for Franklin County. And so I just want to say to the council, thank you so much. Last year I had to be out of town. I don't recall what reason, but this year I checked my schedule quickly, and it's close, but I'm in town. So I'm looking forward to this year's convening. So thank you so much for the report.
Thank you so much, and I also want to recognize every single member of our advisory council. Right now, I have Dr. Adhikari with me, and also want to recognize Isaiah Baker, our Vista, who really did tremendous work in putting together this annual report. Without his support, we probably would take much longer time to do that. But please take a look at this report. We're very proud of the work that we've done. And page 11, we have our recommendations. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kate. Okay. Get a motion for the approval of the minutes of the August 20th, 2019, and February 18th, 2020 general sessions, and the March 5th, 2020 briefing session and administrative session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
The minutes have been approved.
All right, the engineer.
Resolution number 150-20, resolution approving the 2019 annual county highway system mileage report.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Cornell Robertson, Franklin County Engineer and Drainage Engineer. This first resolution is the annual highway miles report. Franklin County mileage is at 260 and 107 thousandths of a mile, which is down 1.4 miles due to annexations mostly to City of Columbus. The sum of township mileage is 366 and 963 thousandths of a mile, which is down 1/100th of a mile. Pending any questions, I request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 150-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 150-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 151-20, resolution granting approval to declare equipment obsolete and no longer needed for Franklin County use and authorizing sale of said equipment.
Commissioners, as stated, this resolution declares a certain amount of equipment obsolete that's no longer needed for the Franklin County Engineers Office. We will allow political subdivisions to purchase this equipment by written submittal. After that, we'll allow the equipment to be purchased through Gov Deals. And currently, this list includes 4 pieces of equipment: an excavator, a truck crane, a cone truck, and an SUV.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 151-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 151-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 152-20, American Structure Point Incorporated, consulting engineers appointed to assist the Franklin County engineer in performing preliminary engineering for the Havens Corners Road, County Road 16 Improvement Project, Jefferson Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $37,800.
Again, this resolution is for a preliminary design contract with American Structure Point to look at the stretch of Havens Corners Road at Taylor Station Road, Man Road, and Wagner Road. We feel that these intersections are likely candidates for safety funding through the Ohio Department of Transportation. They would be cooperative projects including Franklin County, City of Gahanna, Jefferson Township, and the Franklin County Transportation Improvement District.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 152-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 152-20 has been adopted.
Okay, we now have a public hearing. Can the clerk please read the public hearing to the record?
Resolution regarding plan approval for the improvement of Smothers Road, County Road number 20, at Harlem Road, County Road number 111, Plain Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
All right, I'd like to open the public hearing. So for this resolution, is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on the public hearing? Seeing no one, I'd like to close the public hearing and have the clerk read the resolution into the record.
Resolution number 153-20, plans approved for the improvement of Smothers Road, County Road number 20 at Harlem Road, County Road number 111, Plain Township, Franklin County, Ohio.
Yes, Commissioners, this capital improvement project is in the northeast part of Franklin County in Plain Township at the intersection of Smothers and Harlem. The project specifically will reconstruct the stormwater management basin for that intersection, and I have the title sheet here ready for your approval and signature if this resolution moves forward.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 153-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 153-20 has been adopted. Thank you, sir. Resolution number 154-20, resolution awarding contract and approving contract bond to Double Z Construction Company for the Madison Township Fire Station number 182 improvement in the amount of $353,934.25.
Commissioners, as the engineer for townships, Madison Township trustees ask that the Franklin County Engineers Office administer design and construction for redoing the parking lot at their fire station number 182. We held a competitive bid on February 4th. There were 5 bidders, and Double Z had the lowest and best bid.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 154-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 154-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 155-20, report third of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Alum Creek Drive at Rohrer Road Improvement Project, Hamilton Township and Madison Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $40,000.
This capital improvement project is in the southeast part of Franklin County. at the intersection of Allen Creek Drive and Roar Road. It's a cooperative project that includes Franklin County, City of Columbus, Groveport, Hamilton Township, Madison Township, and the Franklin County Transportation Improvement District. This is the third report for right-of-way acquisition, includes one property, and the appraisal was based on fair market value.
If there are no comments or questions, you know what? I don't have a question, but I do want to talk to you about the TID.
All right.
Not now, but if we could talk, maybe I'll catch you later today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 155-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 155-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 156-20, report for fourth of the Franklin County Engineer establishing sums of compensation for a portion of the owners of property abutting the Allen Creek Drive at Roar Road Improvement Project, Hamilton Township and Madison Township, Franklin County, Ohio, in the amount of $17,125.
This resolution is for the same capital improvement project, so in the interest of time, I won't reiterate the details. It is the fourth report for right-of-way acquisition, includes one property, and its appraisal was also based on fair market value.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 156-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 156-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 157-20, resolution authorizing general fund support to the Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District for calendar year 2020.
Commissioners, Zach Cleric with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution would authorize the annual contribution to Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District from the general fund in the amount of $589,100. With us today is Jennifer Fish, Director of Franklin Soil and Water.
I also have with me today Maureen Lorenz, and she's our board supervisor out of 5 board supervisors at Franklin Soil and Water Conservation District. As you know, Franklin Soil and Water is governed by a publicly elected volunteer board of supervisors, and the board supervisors volunteer a great deal of time towards it because they believe in locally led conservation and outstanding programs that Franklin Soil and Water has to offer. Your support allows us to reach over 15,000 students with conservation, work with over 500 properties on conservation, and provide outreach and assistance to over 50,000 residents and over 5,000 professionals a year. We also are very active regionally. We promote clean water messaging through BeTheChangeForCleanWater.org with 10 other counties. And currently we are promoting in that Farm for Our Future campaign is our current campaign. The next one will be storm drains and ditches and preventing pollution down those. As you can see, it is also going into our spring tree sale. So we are promoting plant native plants. And we will have t-shirts here after the session if anybody wants some plant native t-shirts to help promote plant native plants. And our annual tree sale promoting native plants is coming up. Orders are due on March 29th. You can go to our website at www.franklinswcd.org and order plants, and then see us afterwards if you want t-shirts. Thank you.
You know, speaking of ditches, the Farm Bureau event's coming up soon.
Yes.
I'm sure they're gonna be asking about ditches again, so we'll have to, I
Talk
would
to them.
imagine you'll be there.
Yes, yes,
So I would imagine they're gonna be asking us about ditches again.
yes, I will be prepared.
It's their issue. One of-
Yes,
Some of
and
them.
I have, I've been connecting with them on the Farm for Your Future campaign and also connect back out to them with
Good.
the storm drain and ditches and talk. I think their concern is the volume.
Sometime
so.
in April.
Yes, I will be there,
Okay,
definitely.
me too.
Thanks. Anything else?
That's all, thanks.
Okay. And also, thank you so much for your support.
Appreciate it.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 157-20.
Second,
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
yes.
Resolution number 157-20 has been adopted.
The auditor.
Resolution number 158-20, resolution authorizing a mutual non-disclosure agreement between the Franklin County Board of Commissioners and Simplifile LC.
Good morning, Commissioner Brown Boyce, President O'Grady. I have the honor of serving as your Franklin County Auditor, Michael Stinziano. As mentioned, we have Resolution 015820 authorizing the mutual non-disclosure agreement between Simplifile LC and Franklin County in order to allow for an exchange of system information and security features with the data center to ensure Simplifile's electronic filing system is compatible with county IT systems. As I think you're aware, Simplifile offers a zero-cost solution for electronic filing that has the potential to interface with Auditor's Office, Engineer's Office, and Recorder systems pending a review by the data center. All three entities, the Auditor, Engineer, and Recorder's Office, have worked directly with the Prosecutor's Office to ensure this agreement is narrowly tailored, subject to Ohio Public Records Law, and is in the best interest of the county. We ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 158-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 158-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 159-20, resolution authorizing a supplemental appropriation within the Dog and Kennel Fund for a targeted advertising campaign regarding the dog registration extension.
Thank you. This resolution is aligned with our ongoing efforts to increase the dog licensing numbers throughout the county. Really have appreciated the Board of Commissioners' ongoing support. We did the extension, and now it's really just getting the word out to residents and dog owners across the county. Where we're being caught a little bit in the office is we know the people who've registered in the past. It's then going out and finding those dog owners that are out there that may not know. We don't have their direct contact, and short of going and knocking on all their doors, advertising campaigns have shown to be a very effective way and means in which to get people aware of what the law is and then have them follow up and get licensed. So we ask for your support of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 159-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 159-20 has been adopted.
Mr. Auditor, do you guys,
Mr. President.
once you have somebody register their dog, do you then remind them that it's an annual registration?
It depends if they buy a 1, 3, or lifetime. So if you buy the lifetime, you'll get no more mail or notification from us. If you have a 3-year, like our household has, you will not get a notification until that 3-year. And if it's the annual, yes, we will follow up. And if you don't respond, we will follow up. And if you don't respond, we will follow up one more time.
Good, no,
to
good.
make sure
I
they
think
are
I've
aware.
told you before, I've spoken to so many people who think they registered, that they licensed their dog and, then they were done. Instead of understanding that it's an annual thing, that you have to license your dog
Thank you.
annually.
Many communications
It
and
amazes
reminders.
me how many people think they did it once and it was a lifetime thing and they don't have to license their dog annually.
It's also been exciting to watch the people that do it lifetime and then are frustrated that we won't take their money as they want to do it annually. But
even
we are
better.
working with them accordingly.
Okay. Just
Thank you.
checking. Thanks. Always amazes me when people think they did it once and never have to do it again. Court of Common Pleas.
Resolution number 160-20, resolution authorizing consulting services for the Franklin County Adult Probation Department in the amount of $16,825.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Lori Francescan, Chief Probation Officer for the Court of Common Pleas, and with me is Kimberly Canada, our Finance Director of the Court of Common Pleas. This resolution approves a contract and purchase order for consulting services for the Adult Probation Department. The services include facilitating the creation of a diversity and inclusion committee within the department and working with the committee for a period of time to ensure sustainability. In addition, the consultant is providing training for the probation and court administration staff regarding managing difficult conversations with the intent to lead purposeful and meaningful communication. The consultant is Tony Bell, owner of Phoenix Consulting, who has provided similar services to several local government entities. Pending any questions, we request your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 160-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 160-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Animal Control.
Resolution number 161-20, resolution authorizing supplemental appropriations in support of the recommendations from the University of Wisconsin Shelter Medicine Program and for the operation of the animal shelter.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Administrators. I'm here with this resolution today for supplemental appropriations in support of the recommendations of the University of Wisconsin report to implement, to begin to start implement some of those recommendations as best practices.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 161-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting, Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 161-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kay. Economic Development and Planning.
Resolution number 162-20, resolution entering into a funding agreement with the Affordable Housing Trust to create more affordable home ownership and rental housing and to strengthen neighborhoods within Franklin County in the amount of $3,400,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Schimmer from Economic Development and Planning. I'm here. We got two resolutions on this morning, the first of which is an affordable resolution with the Affordable Housing Trust, an organization that was created in 2001. The Affordable Housing Trust acts as an independent nonprofit for affordable new home and apartment development and for the rehabilitation of vacant and abandoned residential structures. The primary beneficiaries of the Affordable Housing Trust program are low and moderate income households and seniors. The Affordable Housing Trust is one of our critical partners, and I'm going to ask that Mark Paxson take you through it with the help of Steve Gladman.
Morning, Commissioners. This resolution with the Affordable Housing Trust was transferred to the Economic Development Planning Department from the Community Partnership Program this year. This was under the guise of the county's Affordable Housing Initiative. It's paid for, funded with $3.4 million conveyance fee dollars. The purpose of the resolution is create and preserve affordable housing. And in attendance, as Jim mentioned, is Mr. Steve Gladman, the President of the Affordable Housing Trust, to take us to the agreement.
Thank you. Good morning, President O'Grady, Commissioner Boyce. We're going to talk about numbers today, but I would tell you that the most important thing is that we provide housing for folks that have the greatest need. So we're not going to be talking about the individuals today as much as the money and the outcomes, but in the back of your minds, always remember that's our mission, and we appreciate your support since 2001. And on behalf of Bob Weiler and our board, we like to acknowledge that and also the support of our residents of Franklin County. As you can see by the first slide, we did about 780,000 units last year. 166 of those are for housing at below 80% AMI. That's our most vulnerable population. The other 628 units are from 31 to 80% AMI. In those units, you may find folks that have incomes below 30% AMI because they may have a voucher and they could also live there. So these are the maximum AMI levels for the projects that we funded. The support last year allowed us to do, if you look at this slide, which has a lot of numbers on it, but if you look at the very bottom, it shows that we did $47.7 million in loans last year. That resulted in direct development cost of $205 million. So we are never or rarely the only lender or in the capital stack. We are just part of that. And if you look at then the impact from suppliers and indirect work impact, and the total impact is $340 million. These are numbers that are prepared by Dr. Lafayette, who happens to be on our board now, but he has prepared these for you since 2005, I believe. The next page shows the employment impacts, and this shows the number of jobs either created or preserved, and you can see the direct impact was a little over 1,000 jobs, and then the total impact when you add the secondary and tertiary impact is about 1,856 jobs that were either created or sustained. Every year I'm asked, what are you going to do this year? And every year I say, it depends on what kind of developments come to us. We have a new fund, as you probably know, the Housing Action Fund, which is a $100 million investment from local financial institutions and corporations and philanthropic community. Those monies are loaned to the trust at 3%, and then we will reloan those for a variety of housing. A lot of that will be workforce housing. The interest rate obviously is higher than a lot of the loans we've done in the past, and so we will preserve the funds that have been provided by the city and county and use those for permanent supportive housing and innovative projects that will not meet the criteria of the Housing Action Fund, $100 million. We closed the fund in July of this year, and we have already loaned $16.5 million in 5 projects. So we are pleased with the initial interest in it, and I think we'll see increased workforce housing interest as the year goes along and people become more familiar with that aspect of what we do. I will take any questions, or our mission has been the same for the last 21 years. So we will continue to work with the commissioners and staff to provide housing that meets the needs of the community.
Let me begin by just saying thanks for all you do. This is probably one of the areas of most concern as it relates to our poverty blueprint, and that's providing affordable housing to the growth of Central Ohio. But the thing I wonder about rather, is our competition for resources, be it construction, development, whatever, with the region. You know, what is the region looking like outside of Franklin County and Central Ohio with regards to affordable housing? And then maybe if you could give us just a snapshot of that competition around the state and what the pull and drain is with regards to resources on affordable housing too.
Let me first say that because of the vision and dedication of the commissioners and city government, that we are much better positioned than the rest of the state as far as having resources available. So that's a pretty significant plus on our side. The major production program for affordable housing is the 9% low-income housing tax credit program. It's highly competitive. The slide that's up now shows you how many transactions were submitted for approval by Ohio Housing Finance Agency. I think there's 10. We may get 3 or 4 or 5 at the most. The far right-hand column shows you the allocation request, and you have to multiply that by 10 because they get that for 10 years. So you can see the amount of equity that needs to go into these transactions to make them work. So a $1 million, which is the maximum request, results in a $10 million total allocation. Those allocations are then sold somewhere around 92 to 95%. That provides the equity in the transaction. Franklin County, because of the commitment of the county and the city to put additional funds into these transactions, have given us a substantial benefit. It also benefits because of the scoring system and leverage funds that we do better. So I would say that of the major metropolitan areas, Columbus is by far in the best position. Affordable housing is a huge problem and has been, but to everyone's credit, we started addressing it much earlier than other communities, and we've developed more tools to do that. Competition for construction, material costs for a variety of reasons, including some trade issues, has pushed the cost of all these projects up. These projects cannot carry much debt. That's where all that equity goes. So they're about 35% maximum debt. So it's not a matter if they have a 5 or 10% cost overrun, they simply go back to the bank, get more debt, because it won't support it. So it's very important that those resources are available in the form of either grants or soft second loans to allow these projects to occur. Your development partner's done a good job of doing modeling for how you're going to use the additional funds that you've allocated for affordable housing.
Excellent, excellent. Well, again, thanks for what you do. I mean, certainly you all are the experts instead of the winds that guide the conversation, discussion, and coalesce a lot of other resources, which is probably the most important point. So thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
You know, as Kevin pointed out, Commissioner Boyce, I apologize, pointed out, you know, the poverty blueprint. I mean, this housing, youth education, jobs, healthcare. Those are there's sort of the 4 pillars of the program, and you know, we've worked with you and your organization for a number of years, way beyond our time here on the board. We invest in affordable housing annually, and we just invested reinvested last year with the conveyance fee and increasing the conveyance fee and working with our partners at the city and in the business community to continue to try to address the affordable housing problem. We're going to have to continue to try to, figure out ways to reinvest through, because as we continue to state, and Commissioner Poise just stated earlier during the meeting, as we continue to grow as a community, affordable housing is always going to be a problem for us. We will have to continue to address it. And so we appreciate the partnership. We appreciate the work that you and your organization does. We appreciate all that you've been able to bring to the table in this partnership. So thank you.
Thank you.
And if there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption of 162-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 162-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 163-20, resolution authorizing a non-general fund supplemental appropriation for the Clean Ohio Grant.
Commissioners, very happy to bring along a resolution this morning that'll close out a project that we have been engaged with, which is the Grandview Crossing project. As you know, we've done two specific projects that relate to Clean Ohio grant funds, the Grandview Yard project, and then the second project that the county's been involved, which is the Grandview Crossing project. The developer has in fact received its covenant not to sue, which is basically an indication that the site has been cleaned up. They are willing and able to go forward with their development project, and we're real pleased that we can bring this forward this morning. There is a residual of $300,000 that's left to make sure that the project is actually buttoned up and cleaned up. We're in the position, Eric and Joel Lilly are here this morning to talk a little bit about the project if you want to hear some of the details. But for our role, the county has in fact done its work, and with this $300,000 payment, we'll close out this part of the development process. And I want to mention to you all that this is a very large project and has a lot of great use going forward. With that, I'll ask if you have any questions of the developer and take it from there.
Hey, Commissioners, Eric Wagenbrenner with Wagenbrenner Development Thrive Companies. I got a partner in our company, Joel Lilly, who's kind of running the Grandview project, crossing project for us. But obviously, this was one, I think, the last grant, in the last round of funding through the state of Ohio for the Clean Ohio Revitalization Fund. We received a $3 million grant with the county support to remediate the site. It was a former unregulated landfill. And this is would be the northeast corner of Grandview Avenue and Dublin Road. It's originally the property was about 36 acres. We've assembled about 56 acres. There was a railroad property along the back of it that we've since assembled. So it is a large project that straddles two jurisdictions, so that's important as well. About a third of the properties in the city of Grandview and the other 2/3 is in the city of Columbus. We worked with both jurisdictions, and it's been very cooperative, along with Jim's and the county support, to get the development to a point where right now we're putting all the utilities, the underground utilities in the site. We've also started vertical construction on the first large residential building, and then we also have a large 125,000 square foot 4-story office building, Class A office building, along with a 630-car garage that has all broken ground. It's been a long time coming. We've had this project for a while. Just to give you a perspective, to remediate the site, it was primarily clearing the site so we can cap it because it was an unregulated landfill. It wasn't closed properly under the new regulations that the EPA put in place, I think, in '72. And over a period of about 8 years, we brought in about 500,000 to 600,000 cubic yards of fill, which, put in perspective, that would fill OSU Stadium completely. So it was a large amount of fill that we were fortunate with all the construction projects going around the city that we were able to receive a lot of the spoils, from digging sites, and it was with its location was easy to deliver. So we're excited to get the project started. I can kind of turn it to Joel. He can, if you have any questions related to the specifics about the site, he can kind of answer some of them.
Good morning, Commissioner. Good morning. Grady and Commissioner Boyce. Yeah, Eric filled you in on where we are right now. We're excited about the progress we're making. And, you know, I think just to add on to that, we feel like we'll have the roads going in this summer. And we're hoping with our start dates that we just started last month that we'll have our first office and residential tenants occupying and living on the site spring of 2021.
That's awesome. And as part of that, we also, just jump in, we talk about affordability. We do have affordable housing related to this site. When we went through with the City of Columbus to receive our economic development package, we did commit that 10% of the apartment units will be at 80% area median income, and 10% of the units will be at 100% area median income. All the units will be built the same, so there will be no difference between what, those individuals lease. It'll be the same units, and we'll kind of, as a cycle, we'll place individuals in those units as they qualify. So
We've got about 1,100 total units, so it'll be a little over 200 for an affordable portion.
I'll just say this is one of those examples where you look at the growth of Central Ohio, and you see something for years and years and years, and then just a couple years later, and you won't even know where you are, look that different. And someone who grew up here in Central Ohio, you can drive all through Central Ohio and see that. And even though some of it may be suburban municipalities, it's still part of Central Ohio, and it's just a different illustration of what Central Ohio has become today. I think Commissioner O'Grady said it earlier. It's kind of like, this isn't my father's Franklin County. This is a new Franklin County, a new Central Ohio. This is one of those examples. The only question I might have, though, because I think, Eric, you mentioned it, are the residential, when you're talking about AMI, are the residential, you said a portion is in Grandview, a portion is in Columbus. Is the residential portion that's going up, is that Columbus or Grandview?
it's primarily in Grandview.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, Columbus. It's primarily in Columbus. We'll have maybe a few, we do have some senior housing on the Grandview portion, which will be primarily active lifestyle senior on a portion of it. And then we're also going to have, it won't be full care, but it will be a kind of the next step in that continuum of aging where we'll provide memory care and others. So it'll be kind of almost a full care facility. And we're doing a similar project. It's a group out of Lemon to Lemon. We're doing a project across Patel site, Founders Park. We're also doing a similar project with Lemon with the senior facility. So we're real excited. It's a need in Columbus, for individuals looking for that type of housing. So we're excited about it as well.
Great. Thank you.
Eric, you and your brother have talked to me about this project for years. So it's good to see this finally come to fruition and see, drive past it and see steel coming out of the ground, because it's been a long time. The other thing, and I don't, say this for any, we deal with a lot of developers. Jim, in the department, we deal with a lot of developers. A lot of folks come and bring stuff to us. I can honestly say, though, it's always good to deal with you and your company, because, you guys deal with brownfield sites. You guys, you're not the developer that's going out and tearing up a cornfield out in the suburbs. You guys are the ones that take on tough projects. You take on brownfield sites. You take on the most difficult projects in the most difficult, places to develop. And
That's why I don't have any hair, by the way.
yeah, join the club.
Thank you.
But you take on stuff like this that nobody else wants to deal with, and you turn, something that's been a eyesore for years into an economic development, moneymaker for the communities that, this is going to be good for the city of Columbus. This is going to be good for the city of Grandview. That was landlocked forever, and make money for them, and it's going to make money for Franklin County. And so it's a win-win for everybody. And so, as a developer, I just want to let you know in front of, God and everybody, we appreciate what you do. So thank you.
Thank you, President Gray. Commissioner Boyce, thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Ready?
No, just to say that, last comment, these are the things that we do at Franklin County that sometimes are overlooked as part of the process. And We are a niche player in economic development, and this is a great example of it. So I'd ask for your approval of the resolution this morning.
Great. If there are no comments or questions, or further comments or questions, move for adoption of 162-20.
Excuse me.
163.
Oh, 163-20, I'm sorry.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 163-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Sanitary engineer.
Resolution number 164-20, a resolution authorizing a water pollution control loan fund application to the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency and the Ohio Water Development Authority for the second round of the connection phase of the Moneyback and Brown Road East Sanitary Sewer Extension Project.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ryan, Ryan Stowe with Sanitary Engineer. Sanitary Engineer is requesting the authorization of a water pollution control loan fund application to the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency and the Ohio Water Development Authority for the second round of the connection phase of the Moneyback and Brown Road East Sanitary Sewer Extension Project. Sanitary Engineer received 78 applications in the second round of financial assistance, of which 43 property owners were qualified. 2 of those were removed from the program due to sale or transfer of the property, leaving 41. The estimated cost to construct the 41 laterals, $772,796.72. Assistance is offered by the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency for a period of 10 years at 0% interest. The annual debt service obligation is approximately $77,279.67. This resolution will allow the county administrator to submit to the WPCLF an application, or submit the WPCLF application to the Ohio EPA and the Ohio Water Development Authority to provide assistance to connect these homes to the new county sewer and sign all the documents necessary to effectuate the loan. Pending any questions, I request the passage of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 164-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Second. Yes.
Resolution number 164-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 165-20, resolution authorizing a contract agreement with Winelco Incorporated for the Darby Dale Grinder Pump Station Improvements Project in the amount of $180,984.
So the second resolution before you is for the sanitary engineer to authorize a contract with Winelco Incorporated for a Darbydale Grinder Pump Station Improvement Project. Sanitary owns and maintains 24 grinder pump stations in our Darbydale service area, which is located in the southwestern portion of Franklin County. The grinder pumps were installed in 2005 as part of the Darbydale Collection System and Treatment Plant Project. Each grinder pump station serves a single-family residence and is responsible for pumping the wastewater away from the home to the county sanitary sewer system. Condition assessment of the grinder pump stations performed last year by our consultant, MS Consultants, found that the pumps and their appurtenances needed to be replaced in order to maintain current levels of service. Bids for the project were received on December 17, 2019, and Winelco was determined to be the best and lowest bidder for a total contract sum of $180,984. This project is expected to start later this month and take approximately 3 months to complete. Project will be funded from the $5 million provided to the sanitary engineer from the Board of Commissioners. If any questions or comments, I request the passage of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 165-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 165-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Job and Family Services.
Resolution number 166-20, resolution approving suborder agreements with Action for Children and Future Ready Columbus for early learning and development infrastructure services in the amount of $1,001,928.
Good morning, Commissioners. Carmen Barnes, Deputy Director, Job and Family Services. On January 27th, our application for the Ohio Quality Infrastructure Grant was accepted, and we were awarded just under $1.3 million. Under the application, we will subcontract with local partners, Action for Children and Future Ready Columbus, to provide direct services to Franklin County child care providers to improve, build capacity, and become star rated before the July 1st step up to quality deadline. This resolution will approve our subcontracts with each agency so that we can disperse funds for direct services they will be providing. We have guests from both Future Ready and Action for Children on hand today. So first, I would like to invite Future Ready Executive Director Jane Leach.
Thank you. County Commissioners and Administrators, thanks for welcoming us to the podium this morning. As Carmen said, my name is Jane Leach and Angel Rhodes, Dr. Angel Rhodes from Future Ready Columbus. We have a prenatal to age 5 focus to make sure that all children in Franklin County are ready for kindergarten success by 2030. We know that we invest early in the lives of young children. We change their life trajectory toward a much better, brighter, successful future. And we also gain access to families to come alongside them in their journey. Toward that end, come on up here. Toward that end, please. Toward that end, we are developing a community master plan, and I'm pleased to tell you that we are incorporating many of the goals and action items that are incorporated in the poverty blueprint. So Rise Together Poverty Blueprint. So thank you for that hard work, and we're incorporating that into our work as well. Today, we're here to share with you a couple of things that we would like to move forward with your support, and we thank you very much for that. We are going to add high-quality learning opportunities for our children. And when we think about the data and the information, the maps that were provided through our work together on that poverty steering committee, we have an inverted T in our community, and we're focusing our efforts along the inverted T, where our neighborhoods have high poverty and high needs, and we're going to increase access. We know that access to quality childcare opportunities is one of the drivers toward kindergarten readiness. So we're going to use funding to increase the number of infant toddler classrooms and also preschool classrooms for those children as well. We want to come alongside our parents as well. That's another driver to kindergarten readiness, making sure that our families understand that they're the first and most important teacher in a child's life. Many times, many of us struggle with, what does that look like? How can I do that? So we'd like to come alongside our families and help them on that journey. And there are supports to do that as well. Next, we would like to invest in workforce recruitment and retention. Child care providers often have a high turnover for many, many reasons. I'd be happy to talk with you about all those reasons at a later date. But we really want to invest in quality professional development because, newsflash, the quality of the teacher, the educator, the child care provider also is a driver toward kindergarten readiness. We are giving leadership to helping move our community, our county from trauma to resilience. And in so doing, we are offering conscious discipline training to our child care providers. With your support, we will expand the opportunities for child care providers to attend this training free of charge, receive a book, also have coaching because we know that ensures fidelity of changed practices within the centers, and also come alongside and offer where relationships are the strongest at the centers, offer opportunities and supports for the child care providers to, again, invest in families. That is what we propose to do. And Action for Children, I'm happy to answer questions, but I think Action for Children also is coming alongside, and maybe you want to ask us all together. I defer to you. All together?
Okay.
All right.
Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. I'm Eric Krolak with Action for Children, and we are excited to be a part of this grant opportunity under the direction and leadership of Director Joy Bivens at the County Department of Job and Family Services. Action for Children, as I think you know, is the child care resource and referral agency for Central Ohio, and we've been that since 1972. So we have long established relationships with parents and with providers, and we serve about 9,000, a little over 9,000 parents and early childhood educators, and reach about 50,000, a little over 50,000 children in the Central Ohio region through those different programs. In this grant, we hope to be able to, will be proposed with Franklin County Job and Family Services and in partnership with Future Ready, is to offer a suite of services that will leverage our team of technical assistance coaches and their relationships with all types of providers throughout the county. First, if you go to the next, thank you, we are going to operate an early care and education resource bank that will allow providers working with their technical assistance coach to choose from a menu of items they would like to and need to obtain, maintain, or increase their star rating. These will be available online. There will be a multiple set of vendors that they can choose from, and we should be able to receive those materials within 2 to 3 days. We'll also be providing resources to address workforce recruitment and retention, the most significant barrier for our providers in this very region of economic growth that is Central Ohio. These include enhanced recruitment supports to assist with hiring expenses, provider professional development supports to help programs meet qualifying staff requirements, including the paraprofessional certification, the Child Development Associate. Finally, and underlying really all of these services, we are seeking support for additional technical assistance coaching and additional peer mentoring. We know that the relationships with coaches and with peers are essential for child care providers' success in meeting the additional requirements of Step Up to Quality. Action for Children is also, through other funding, recruiting new child care providers who will help meet licensing requirements and join in Step Up. For the past several years, with the support of the county, so thank you very much, we have been able to successfully replenish about 10% of the supply of licensed Type B family child care providers. Those are individuals working from their home, often during non-traditional hours, to provide child care for working families. And then we will also be working to match parents in unrated child care programs with available seats in nearby star-rated programs as the deadline approaches. We've really accomplished so much as a community. As of last Friday, 80% of our providers are rated. Another 5% have completed the work with Action for Children or our partners and are registered and awaiting to hear from the state what their rating is. We are down to just 94 providers left who are not rated or are exempt. And with this grant, Franklin County will be able to cross the finish line. All of our children receiving publicly funded child care will have a quality rated seat to go to on Wednesday, July the 1st. Anyone can reach us at 614-224-0222 and at the website that is on the slides before you. Really appreciate this opportunity and the leadership of the department and your support.
Ready? Good.
Pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 166-20.
Second, great work, guys, thank you.
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 166-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 167-20. Resolution approving subaward agreements with Sickle Cell Disease Association of America, Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association, doing business as Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association for Community-Based Family Support Services, in the amount of $40,000.
The Ohio Sickle Cell and Health Association, along with the Lance and Eileen Porter Foundation, aims to assist Central Ohio families that are underserved or overlooked by the systems currently in place. One of those underserved communities is the Crum Park community in East Columbus, which experiences high poverty rates and unemployment. The HOPE pilot project provides for place-based case management services, employment referrals, and housing assistance for approximately 500 Crum Park community members, ages 10 through 50. This resolution supports goal number 10 of the blueprint, which calls for improving overall environmental conditions in neighborhoods of concentrated poverty so that they are safe, walkable, and have easy access to basic resources. Pending any questions, I ask for approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 167-20.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 167-20 has been adopted.
thank you.
Thank you.
Justice Policy and Programs.
Resolution number 168-20, resolution authorizing a contract with Distortive Financial Services, LLC, for the purchase of financial literacy education under the Justice Assistance Grant and Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Grant programs in the amount of $35,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Daniels, Director of the Office of Justice Policy and Programs. This first resolution will allow us to continue doing financial literacy education for individuals across the entire justice spectrum. Any questions, we'd ask for your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 168-20.
Second,
Moved and seconded voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
yes.
Resolution number 168-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 169-20, resolution authorizing a contract modification with Valerie Coleman for peer support services through the fiscal year 2019 Centers for Disease Control Overdose Data to Action Grant Program in the amount of $50,000.
Commissioners, as you know, Franklin County Public Health received a grant from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, specifically to look at overdose data to action programming. Part of that was street outreach and peer support. We'll be using $22,000 to increase Valerie Coleman's contract and allow her to continue that outreach.
Great. If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 169-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 169-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 170-20. Resolution authorizing a sub-grant award modification with Columbus Division of Police for services to enhance law enforcement efforts under the fiscal year 2018 Services, Training, Officers, Prosecutors, Stop Violence Against Women Act block grant in the amount of $43,275.35.
Commissioners, we're coming to the end of when we need to spend out our 2018 Violence Against Women Act funding. So we're doing a little bit of last-minute rearrangement to make sure that we use all of those grant funds. This is an increase to the Columbus Police Department in the amount of $13,249.17.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 170-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 170-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public Facilities Management.
Resolution number 171-20. Resolution authorizing a modification to the contract agreement with Brunner Corporation to perform additional HVAC activities associated with the construction of the Franklin County Correction Center at an increase in the amount of the contract not to exceed $403,798 for a total amount of $19,448,258.
Good morning, Commissioners. Darla Reardon, Director of Public Facilities Management. In March of 2018, Brunner Corporation was awarded a contract agreement to perform HVAC activities associated with construction of the new Franklin County Corrections Center. This resolution authorizes a modification of the contract agreement with Brunner to provide additional HVAC activities, including mechanical work, specifically refinements to ductwork, fitting, piping associated with various design documents issued by DLZ Architecture, Inc. Pending any questions, we request your approval of this contract modification with Brunner Corporation.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 171-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 171-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 172-20. Resolution authorizing a transfer of general fund appropriations to support various capital maintenance projects.
This resolution authorizes supplemental appropriations to support various capital maintenance projects in advance of approving the updated master plan. We appreciate OMB's guidance and assistance with this request. Pending any questions, this agency requests your approval of the resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for passage of 172-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 172-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 173-20. Resolution authorizing recycling of information technology equipment declared obsolete by the Franklin County Automatic Data Processing Board.
Monthly, this agency is asked by the Data Processing Board to assist with the disposal of obsolete surplus IT equipment. We do so in a manner consistent with this board's commitment to promote sustainable principles in our policy decisions and programs. Pending any questions, we request your approval to dispose of this e-waste.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 173-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 173-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Human Resources.
Resolution number 174-20. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the city of Groveport for training and development services.
Good morning, Commissioners. Humera Kokar, representing Department of Human Resources. This resolution would authorize County Administrator to enter into a MOU with City of Groveport for training and development services. This would be a 12-month MOU, which is also can be extended for 6 months. We will charge City of Groveport for $75 per training session per employee. Pending any questions, I request approval of this resolution.
Great. If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 174-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 174-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 175-20. Resolution authorizing the county administrator to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Otterbein University for the Otterbein Advantage Partnership with Franklin County.
Commissioners, this resolution would allow the county administrator to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Authorizing University. I believe they're here to speak on their behalf, what this partnership would entail.
Yes, thank you, Humira. Dr. Comerford, the president of Otterbein University, is here to speak to this partnership. Dr.
Thank you,
Comerford.
Commissioners, for your time, and I'd like to thank the county administrator. This all hatched out of him visiting one of our classes, and then we had a chance to visit afterwards, and we talked about how we could work together, and this is the result of that conversation and some other work. As you know, at Otterbein, we are working to fix the mess that is in American higher education right now, access and affordability and linking degrees more directly to workforce. And we think this agreement is one step forward to solve both problems or help solve both problems. Basically, it seeks no money or firm commitment except for the following: that we would look for a regular meeting with county HR staff to talk about our professional development opportunities, look for opportunities for students to have internships and other experiential learning. And if asked, that a senior administrator would be able to serve on one of our advisory boards as we think about the future of our programs. In exchange, Otterbein would be pleased to offer discounts on tuition for graduate programs and for undergraduate programs, quite significant $19,000 annual discounts recurring for 4 years to county employees and dependents as a way of applying financial aid, not just through merit to families that happen to already have means and therefore higher test scores and GPAs, but to do that more democratically in partnership with the county. So we appreciate your interest in this program.
That's great. Dr. Comerford, it's good to see you again. I tell you, I'm in politics because of a relationship that I had with a professor when I was at the University of Toledo as an undergraduate student. And so the learning experience for a young college student doesn't just begin and end in the classroom in college. It's the entire experience, from the living space you're in to the internships and the community that you live in. And I'm really grateful that you have a deep sense of understanding about that. I appreciate your follow-up, but more importantly, I appreciate Otterbein's willingness to be fully engaged in that for its community, and that says a lot. And there are a lot of institutions in Central Ohio, and they're all wonderful institutions, but it says something else when you're willing to really put your foot down in partnership in a way that sort of puts your money where your mouth is, if you will, about how invested you are in that. And so I value and appreciate this relationship and looking forward to what it looks like a couple years from now.
Thank you, Commissioner.
We had a great conversation about this in my office last year, I guess, and so it's great to see this come to fruition. It's great to see it happen at Otterbein, even though they're a good rival with my daughter's alma mater, John Carroll.
It's all right. Somebody has to go there.
Last time I was there, I saw one of her pitches sailing out over the recreation center. So she still has cringe moments about that, but fine softball institution. But no, it's a great partnership, and looking forward to it. So
Thank you very much.
appreciate it.
If there are no further comments or questions, move for adoption. Did you have anything on that, Commissioner? Okay. Move for adoption of 175-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 175-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks. Purchasing.
Resolution number 176-20. Resolution approving purchases for various Franklin County agencies in the amount of $31,328,171.65.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Perry Balanier, Director of Purchasing. This resolution requests your approval of 204 purchase orders for which the county auditor has pre-certified available funding. This week, there are 41 small and emerging business eligible POs totaling $478,346.07. And 20 of these were awarded at $289,703.90. This equates to 48% of the eligible PO volume and 61% of the eligible PO dollar value. These POs went to SEBEs in the following categories: 12 women-owned business enterprises, 7 minority-owned business enterprises, and 1 small and emerging business enterprise. Pending any questions, Commissioners, I request your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 176-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting. Commissioner Boyce?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady?
Yes.
Resolution number 176-20 has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board of Commissioners.
Resolution number 177-20. resolution authorizing county administrator to enter into contract with Maximus Consulting Services Incorporated for the annual update to Franklin County's cost allocation plan and the data center's cost analysis and rate study in the amount of $36,500.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Clerk with the Office of Management and Budget. This resolution will review 2019 expenditures in order to charge back various agencies to reimburse the general fund in 2021. The contract amount for this year is $36,500, which is a $3,500 decrease from last year. The amount of the cost allocation plan is $19,163, while the data center's cost analysis and rate study is $17,337. The 2018 cost allocation plan identified $4.8 million in indirect costs that will be paid back to the general fund in 2020, plus an additional $2.1 million in chargebacks from the data center. Pending any questions, would ask for your approval of this resolution.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 177-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 177-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 178-20, resolution authorizing a consulting contract with the Saunders Company LLC for the development of a Franklin County 2020 Census Advertising and Outreach Campaign plan in the amount of $25,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. As you know, the census is upon us, and beginning on Thursday, all of us can go online to my2020census.gov to fill out the census. It's vital that we do so because this is how the federal government determines funding for programs that our residents rely on, like Medicare, Medicaid, Head Start, public transportation dollars. Unfortunately, as we know, there are more than 300,000 residents in Franklin County that are members of hard-to-count groups. And so this is the first of a couple resolutions you'll be seeing aimed at providing direct census outreach to those groups so that we can ensure a complete count here in Franklin County. We request your approval, please.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 178-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 178-20 has been adopted.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Resolution number 179-20, resolution authorizing the county administrator to execute an 8th modification of the lease purchase agreement with the Franklin County Agricultural Society, the Fair Board.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Long, Deputy Administrator. In 1986, the Franklin County Board of Commissioners and the Franklin County Agricultural Society, otherwise known as the Fair Board, entered into the first lease purchase agreement and has renewed those agreements ever since. This will be an authorization to enter into the 8th and hopefully final modification of that lease purchase agreement. The Fair Board is now in a position to purchase the property back, and this resolution would authorize the county administrator to effectuate the transaction documents. Pending any questions, would recommend your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 179-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 179-20 has been adopted. Resolution number 180-20, resolution regarding ongoing opiate litigation in the One Ohio Memorandum of Understanding.
Commissioners, as you know, the county has commenced civil litigation against opiate drug manufacturers and distributors. Within recent months, the state of Ohio, the commissioners, each of you personally, and the prosecutor and others have entered into discussions and negotiations with the governor, the attorney general, other local governments across the state of Ohio. Significant progress has been made toward an understanding of a framework should a settlement be reached for the entire state. There are several modifications we believe, the commissioners believe to be important, minor but important modifications, and those have been communicated to the governor and the attorney general. However, pending the extreme importance of timing of a potential settlement, this resolution puts forth formal authorization for our outside counsel to continue to negotiate on that One Ohio MOU, and subject to pending negotiations would approve that MOU, but even if those are not adopted, it formalizes the acceptance, should timing be necessary, of the MOU as written. Pending any questions, would recommend your approval.
If there are no comments or questions, move for adoption of 180-20.
Second.
Moved and seconded, voting Commissioner Boyce.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Grady.
Yes.
Resolution number 180-20 has been adopted.
Dean, do we have any journalizations
No,
this morning?
no, Commissioner.
All right, well then that ends the general session for March 10th, 2020. We will be back here next week. Yeah.